Hey everyone, it's Marek from Blancard, and welcome to Ultimate Guide how to play Pre-Rift with Vendetta. If you've seen my previous video about the Unleash, it will be a similar guide. We'll go through all of the commons, uncommon strategies, what changes in this expansion. But first, you need to know that as I'm recording it, all of the pre-rift decks, pre-constructed decks, are not showed yet, so it will be more of a guide as a sealed deck. But actually, the only difference between pre-rift and sealed deck is that you will have this additional 15 cards which you can use to create a deck. So you will have just more cards, and watching this video you will have all of the basics how to build your deck. And also I would like to thank everyone with whom I talked after the previous guide. Some people disagreed with me, some people had their own takes, but some people had, after watching the guide, and said it's absolutely bullshit. They played one of the pre-rifts with this strategy and they changed their mind. So I'm glad that it's pretty useful to you guys. So without any further ado, let's dive in. So as always, I'm mostly focusing on commons and uncommons, because of course with rares and epics there are many really good cards, but you know, you have only 5 booster packs, so you will have 10 rares or epics, and also from this pre-rift pack, so it helps your deck, but the most important thing is to make it consistent, so you need to use it, build your deck around commons and uncommons, first of all. So, the basic rules. Deck has to contain at least 25 cards, you can mix up to 3 colors, and if you don't have both Legend and Champion, you draw an extra card at the beginning of your first turn. So, if you have only Champion or only Legend, or no Champion and no Legend, you will draw one additional card. And one more thing, as you will be creating your deck, you will have 5 booster packs and one of the pre-constructed decks. As I already said, we don't know what will be contain, what all of those pre-constructed decks will contain, but we know that there will be one for every out of 9 legends. And one thing more, you will have a promo card, which is Riven in this expansion, but you cannot play it. So basically 5 booster packs, pre-constructed decks, you create your 55 cards deck out of it, and runes you will have from your, depends on your local game store, if they provide it, or you have to bring it by yourself. Okay, so regarding other basics, I would recommend to always play a champion unit, because you know, it's one additional card in your hand as always. And regarding legends, they are not that great, so most of them are just useless in limited, so it's better to have one more card, especially in Vendetta, where you have some cards which allows you to discard cards, and then you have some more powerful options. You want to have 19, between 17 and 19 units and champions in your deck. Of course, you can have 16, you can have 22. It depends on of the deck. Of course, you can play different variations of it. I'm just telling you the average and the best practices. And you can have 6 to 9 spells or gears depending on your deck. You just need to have combat tricks, because you need units to claim points, to score points, and to stop your opponent from conquering and winning. But you also need some combat tricks, spells, gears, something to turn the tide, because not all of the units have accelerate. And also regarding battlefields, actually I played dozens of sealed or pre-rift events, and I can say that only A few times I played one Battlefield. Most of the times I don't play Battlefield because I know that I can build a deck as good as possible from my cards, and I just don't want to help my opponent to benefit from my battlefield. And what is also important that uh, there are not that many cards with cost 5 or more, so there are not that many cards which you can use for a late game. For example, in Unleashed there were over 22 late game commons and uncommons. Of course, not all of them were great, but you had a more variety. Here you have only 12 of them, 8 commons and 4 uncommons. It means that in Vendetta the games will be longer because you will use the Empower ability. You have to play aggressively because the Accelerate and other effects power as you are attacking or during your turn, which is basically the same. So you need to be more early and mid-game focused. And also basics about deck building. You want to have 4 2-mana units to play first turn, and then 2 4 units to play on the second turn, so 3 4. I mean, that's the ideal situation. As you already know, there are not that many units which cost 5+, so you will have more mid-game units. So I won't play 5 or 6 2-mana units, I would just play more 3 4 mana units. And the rest of the decks should be 5-mana units, so if you could have 10 of them, it would be amazing, but most of the cases you won't have. You will have 5 6 of them, so 6 5-mana units, 5+ mana units, 4 units with cost 2 mana, so you will have this 10 of them, and you should have around 17, so 7 units will be this mid level, so 3 4 mana units. As you are playing spells and gears, don't focus on their cost, they should be just good. And also, as you will see, some of the spells or gears will be bad, but you just need to have any combat trick, any option to trick your opponent or just to turn the tide during the combat. And also, there is one more thing. In Unleash you could be playing Evelynn as your only 2-mana drop as your chosen champion, and then you won't have to play any 2 drops, and you could be doing it in the previous expansion because there were just that many units, late game units. In this case you cannot, but there are many 3-mana champions you can play, and you will just always go second. So your opponent probably will go first as he has the option, and when you win the dice roll you will go second. Regarding all of the new abilities, flow, there are not that many of them in commons and uncommon slots, and they are not weak. As you will see, there are few of them which you will play always, but rest of them are just not playable. It is not constructed. Cards need to be efficient now. Second thing, ambush. As you already know from Unleashed, ambush is pretty amazing, and here 2 units, 1 3-mana order unit, and Morgana red has ambush. Play them. It's a combat trick and a unit at the same time. It's amazing, as you already know. Regarding Empower, it's a really good mechanic, but not every unit which has the ability needs to use it. There is, for example, an order unit which empowers by killing your unit. Of course, we don't want to do it. So, as you have Empower, use it. The best case scenario is that you will be playing your best unit every turn, and then you will empower something and have a combat trick, because you don't have that many late game cards, so you will just have 3 mana. So that's the one of the differences in Vendetta expansion. And regarding weapons and gears, weapons, as always, pretty amazing. As you already know from Unleashed, as I was playing in Utrecht, I had pretty bad hit in my seal deck, but I have 2 machetes, which allowed me to go for 0. Here as well, weapons are pretty amazing. And regarding rest of the gears, some of them are amazing and the rest of them are just bad. I already told about it, that here in Vendetta you will have to play your best unit a turn, and then you will play Empower and then a combat trick, or leave mana for a combat trick. So that's the gameplay most of the time. In some turns you will just play 2 of your units and not empower anything. I mean, that's the general idea. That's why the cost of the unit is split between the basic cost and then empower, so you can pay for units 1 turn and the second turn empower them. So 1 turn you play 2 units and the second turn you empower 2 of them, or you play 1 unit and 1 empower. I mean, that's the basic strategy. And you have 20 empower cards in Vendetta, and that's why, for example, Mel could be it is a good legend if you can build a deck around it, because you will empower a lot of time during the game. And of course, because there are many gears in this expansion, so some of the colors will not have that many cards. So let's dive into the common tier list. We'll start with Fury. So first of all, as you can see, we have out of 8 cards, we have only 2 which are bad. I mean, Punching Poro is not like unplayable. You can play it as a 2 mana, as a 2 drop, but you just don't want to use its ability. And Brittle Steel, you don't want to play this spell because there are just a few gears, and as you know, there are not that many gears. You will have a dead card in your hand. Of course, there are options to discard this card from your hand, so in some cases you can play it, but most of the times you won't use it. Forsaken Bakai, amazing 2 drop. Oasis Rider, amazing 4 drop. It's a better version. I mean, it's a 4 mana version of Forsaken Bakai. Ruthless Strike, really good spell, because 3 mana, 3 damage to into the battlefield. It's not that great, but this option that when you need it, you can discard any card and you will deal 5 damage instead, so you will kill most of the units when you need it. Amazing. Blade Twister, Twirler, it's cool, 4 mana, 4 power, and a positive strategy to burn your opponent. And of course, Bakai Sand Spinner, 6 power, 6 energy, with a good empower. Play it as many copies as you can. Regarding Calm, you can see there is only 1 bad card, it's all Poro, because you can't play it on the first, second and third turn, so you can play it when you have 8 runes. And you will play as you have 8 runes for power unit for 2 mana. So it's really cost efficient, but in a turn 4 you want to have a really impact card. You want to play 5-5, you want to play 6-6, you want to play a good removal. You don't want to play blank 4 card, which you couldn't play in a second, third and third turn. So this drawback, it's as I played it, it's pretty bad. All other cards are much better. For example, Field Musicians, it's 4 mana, 3 power, and as you play it, you give +3 to a unit. So it's basically assault free, because you can't blink your unit. I mean, there is this 1 blue card which blinks your unit, but unlikely you will make this combo. So it's pretty good that you can give assault free to a unit, but then you will stay with a unit which is 4 mana, 3 power, so not that great. Handhammer, if you are playing Shen, it's pretty good. I mean, Shen Legend, and if not, it's not that good, because you always need to have a second unit at the battlefield, so your opponent can just attack you, kill first your smaller unit, and then this equipment will just give +1, which is also cool, but it's not that great as it seems. Twilight Shroud, you can play it, but there are not that many options that your opponent can interact with your units during your turn, so it's just 3 mana plus 2. I mean, you can use it 2 times, so it's 1 mana plus 1 and then for 2 mana plus 1. So it's not that great. It's a slow speed, so I won't play it unless I have to. And Affectionate Poro, not that great. I mean, it's a filler, so it's not bad, but your opponent has to he will just give him 1 damage and you won't draw a card. So okay, he will soak the damage, but not that great. And of course, from the great cards, you can see Mournful Witness, so 2 power, 2 mana card, which empowers itself. So it's a 2-drop, which can become a 4 power by itself. Cool. Also, Esteemed Hierophant, so it's a 5 mana, 5 power, and the ability is dead. So it's just 5/5. Vanilla, amazing. And regarding Serene Ascetic, 3 power, 3 mana, and power 3. So basically you will have for 6 power, 6 power unit with shield, with a cost split 2 turns. Really, really good. And and regarding Mind, you can see Questionable Tome as a bad card because it only works. I mean, every 3 turns you will draw a card. You can build a deck with Jayce Legend and with this rare blue gear which straightens your gear. So there's a combo to draw out of 2 cards. You can draw a card every turn, but isn't it better just to have good cards and just play them and win the game rather than build this value in a tempo-oriented game? Regarding Otterpus, also, as I said, it's a tempo game, and this is 2-drop, which gives because if you play it on the first turn, then during the second turn you won't score, and of course your opponent won't score. Yes, you play it on the first turn. You slow the game in a format where you want to be as fast as possible, so that's why I won't use it, but in some cases I built a deck where it was playable, so if you don't have 2-drops, you need to play 2-drops, so it's a body. And regarding other cards, Apprentice Mage, 3 mana, which can become 4 mana, 4 power, pretty good. Cloud Drake, amazing. Every card in limited which draws a card, it's really good. As you can see, there are not that many really good cards in blue, so you won't be using blue that often unless you have a crazy kit, then you will play it. So you have a late game card because 5 power and a draw, amazing. Dredge Up, I really wanted to play this card a couple of times, but it's just not that great because you just want to have a card which interacts. So on the slow speed you draw a card, so for a second part, for a second 2 mana, you will draw a second card, not that great. And regarding Grumpy Rockbear, 4 mana, 4 power, with a positive ability, really good. Interactive design, I mean, you can, if you use it with flow, you will have 2 tokens, but not that great. Mesmerize, one of the best combat tricks you can have. If I would be playing blue, probably I would be playing it for Cloud Drake and Mesmerize, but it's hard to get both of them at the same time. For the body, as you can see, only Plateworm Egg is really bad because you want your cards to do something, not to give you mana. There are not that many late game cards, so you don't want to have more mana to play them earlier. Fretful Felin, it's good because for 6 mana you have 5 power unit, and when it becomes ready it has +2, so basically it's a Assault 2 because it will straighten the next turn. It has 7 power, it will Conquer, and then on your opponent's turn it will have 5 again, and on your turn it will have always 5, so you need to go back to base and then again attack. So it's basically Assault 2, or worse, Assault 2. So not that great. Also Repair Specialist, as you already know, there are not that many not that many gears, so you will not play it. So it's just free mana, free power, so just vanilla. And regarding good cards, you have Tools of Empire. Amazing card. Standalone, can win you games, because for 6 mana you will give Assault 4 to your units, because it gives during your turn +2 or +4. If it gives only on your turn, it's most of the time just Assault. You can have two of them in your deck. I think 3 would be too much, but if you have just 3 of them and 22 units, it still will make your deck so crazy fast and so cost efficient. Regarding Jagged Cutlass, so if you have 1 or 2 of them, you just go heavy with 6-7 runes with body runes, and then you can just late game break everyone. Legion Marauder, really good 2 mana drop, Guttural Roar, amazing combat trick for 2 mana, you give +4. It's winning combat. It's when you play it, you most of the time just win this one combat. So one card gives you 1 out of 8 points. One of the most important, because you don't play it in early game where those units are not that big. You just this card can turn the tide. And regarding Brutal Hunter, it's just free power, 4 power for 3 mana, and with positive empower, play it always. Regarding Chaos, Spiderling, Stargazer, bad, because you won't have that many Spiderlings. And if you have 3 of them, okay, so you have 3 units with 3 power if you have all of them in game. So, not playable. Stargazer, for 5 power, 5 mana, you have 4 power, so you can just play 4 mana unit with the same ability, like Kinku Lifeblade, and it will do the same. And Kinku, as you already know, with this empower, it's the cost splitted into turns, so really good. Mask Mother, it's not that good because you won't be discarding cards, so just 3 power for 3 mana. Shadow Order Disciple, 2 really good 2-drop, which can have +1 if you need it, so pretty positive ability. Shadow Cloak Lurker, really good unit. The more you have it, the better they are, but still they are 5 power, 4-5 mana, and as we already know, there are not that many cards for the late game, so play them as much as you can. Tornado Warrior, really good. Up from the Deep, so you can have 4 1 mana tokens for 6 mana with flow. I would prefer to have for 6 mana 6 power unit than 4 small units, because in limited you need to be as efficient as possible. And regarding Order, as you can see, none of those cards are bad. The worst is Reluctant Leader, because it has 3 power, and when you play a unit it has +2. As you already saw, there are some hidden cards, so while defending it will have some power extra, and you will play 1 unit a turn, so it will have 5 power during your turn, with hidden more of course. So his ability turns basically most of the time into Assault 2, Assault 4 if you play 2 units. So it's not a standalone card, and during your opponent turn it will be worse, so I would play different cards in this slot. For example, Massa, 4 power for 4 mana with a positive ability. Soul Spinner, I already spoke about, 1 of 2 ambush units. Played, it's a unit which is a combat trick. Dragon Form, amazing spell, one of the best in this format. It's a slow speed, but you will kill the big units, or so your small units can kill their units, because you can target any unit, yours or your opponent. Solari Sunhawk, also a positive ability on a 3 power unit, 3 mana unit. Disciple of Shen, it's not that great with a Shen Legend, maybe if you need to drop and you don't have any other play it, but the problem is you need to always have these 2 units on the battlefield, and then it's just 2 mana 1 power unit. Horns of the Dragon, amazing, 6 power for 6 mana with a tank, awesome. Keeper of Law, 5 power for 5 force for 5 mana, and it can be cheaper. Yeah, always play it. And regarding uncommons, Fury, as you can see, all of them are great. Akali Reaper, for 3 mana you get 4 power, and also it can be even bigger if you need. Of course, play it. Consuming Curse, if you don't have any other combat tricks, play it. I played a few games where I had to play it, and it's not great, not terrible. You just sometimes need something. And Pendulum Blade, so it is assault free, because when you move to battlefield, of course, in Akali, with this green combat trick, you can make more of it, so in some cases it is better, but most of the time during your opponent's turn is just +1. Not great, not terrible. Perfect Execution, amazing card, play as many as you can. Shadow Assassin, also 5 mana 5 power card, play it. Shadow Fiend, it's a 2 mana drop, which can be better. So if you draw it later in the game, it can be as this shark from previous expansion, which had 3 mana 1 power but assault 4, so you can think about it something similar to it. Regarding Calm, so Resonating Strike, that's the card I was referring previously. It is good because you will straighten your defense card, but it's a defense card in a format where you want to attack, so basically most of the time you just if you start attacking, then you set up your base for the next attack, and you just sacrifice your units which are at the battlefield. So with this strategy it's not that great, but also it can break some bones to your opponent's strategy. And all of the rest of the green cards are really good. Crosscut Mother, 3 mana drop with positive and power. Paka Protector, amazing, because you will be playing like 6 non-creature cards, so 18 out of 24 cases it will draw you a card, and in the other cases you will just have +2 power. Worth playing. Sanction, really good, because if you are fighting and your opponent's unit is empowered, you can disempower it to win the combat, or you can empower your unit to win the combat. So really powerful mana combat trick for this expansion. Sunstone Chimera, 7 mana, 8 power, always played. There is also this ability is also really good, but it is just a big unit. Tomb Raider Barbara, there will be not that many gears, so treat it as just really good for power for mana. Scar Cruiser, because it seems that a unit which you will just tap and it will discard, it will deal 4 damage, it will be really cool. But you don't have that many gears. Of course, you can have this patched Porobot and it will deal 4 damage, yeah, sure. So you need Sky Cruiser and a gear. And gears are not that great in this expansion. So it's not better to have, instead of 4 mana 3 power unit and a weak gear, to have 4 mana 4 power unit, any other unit vanilla, or 3 mana cost 3 power unit and removal, or just a second good card, right? So don't get fooled by this card. Patched Porobot, you will never draw a card out of it. I mean, of course someone can say I built a deck and I drew a card out of it. Sure, it is possible, but most of the times it is just a 2-drop, and it's a 2-drop without a bad without any drawback, so you can play it. There is some gear hate, so it will be it might be destroyed, but on the other hand it's a 2-drop, so you don't get to attach to it. Clairvoyance, I didn't play it yet. I prefer to play just a big unit on my turn rather than draw 2 cards at the end of my opponent's turn. Applied Researcher, don't think about its ability. It does nothing, you never empower it, it is just vanilla 4/4. Covered Informant, amazing, draw a card with more power than you paid for, sure. Shock Blast, for free you hit for 4, of course. And Body Bakani Witherclaw is amazing because you have For 5 mana you have 6 power unit. Of course you for empower you burn 2 runes, but it's not that important. You just have, if you need more power you will just empower it. Then the spoiler, it's a unit which wins every combat, I mean every one-on-one, so pretty amazing. Noxian Demolitionist, there are not that many gears. Of course you can attach a weapon to it and then kill your opponent's Sporobot, so you will have a value. So there are like options, but it is not worth it. It is just 2-drop with 1 power. Onslaught, one of the best cards. If you can play 3 or 5 of them, play all of them. It is slow speed, but doesn't matter. For 8 mana you will win 2 combats this turn, because it's a power swing of 12 force in 1 turn, or 6 and another 6 in the second turn. There were, in the past expansion, there was this +4 to your unit and then discard the card to repeat it. It's better than this. Profiteer, of course you can use its ability. Sometimes you might find a way to use it efficiently. Not that many times, because these games, as you will see, are quite fast, but it is just a vanilla card. 4 power for 4 mana. Rampage, it is a challenge with extra bonus, of course played, to kill one of your opponent's key units, because how many key units can he have? 3? Up to 3, most of the time 1, 2. Of course he can have a crazy kit and have all of the bombs, but so then regarding Chaos, Gasmonk, it's a 2-drop with positive ability, Raven Bloom Perfect. It's just 3 mana, 3 power. Its ability sometimes you might use, but as we already know regarding the gears, you won't. Shadow of the Past, you can play it if the game takes too long, and then you will just play your 2 strongest units once again, sure. But Tail, Cloaked, Matriarch is amazing. It's the best unit you can have for 4 mana, because with the Empower you just raise that one of your units. Amazing. Twilight Step, it does nothing, because there are not that many 3 power units, and you can just play any other better card with in this slot. And Wind and Ghost, it's amazing because in this Empower focused expansion you can just pay 3 mana to bounce your opponent's biggest unit, so pretty sweet. And regarding order, you can see that Sacred Protector, I strongly recommend you not to play. Of course, if you have Shen Legend, you can give him tank and the second unit will be protected, but then if your opponent plays a combat trick and kills that unit, then you will have just 6 power body, which does nothing. I strongly don't recommend it. And Escaped Greyback is just 3 mana, 3 power, so vanilla. A Key Barrier, also you can use it to save your units, so it's not that bad. Hungry Wolf, it's 4 mana, 4 power with a positive strategy. I mean, you won't target your opponent unit that many times, I mean maybe once during the game, maybe 2 additional value from this unit, but not most of the cases. Lacerate, this is how you read it. It's amazing, because in this you have 20 cards, 20 common and uncommon cards, which have Empower. So think about this card just about the combat trick. I mean, it's a slow speed, so before combat you just de-empower your opponent unit and then just kill it with your unit, which is bigger than his. So pretty good card. And Noxian Emissary, 2-drop, which can be even better, so pretty sweet. And so, as you already know, I will record the second deep dive when the decks will be shown. Basically, we will just have 15 more cards, and you won't be playing bad cards in this case, so it doesn't change that much. And regarding the Legends, you can see that Akali is not that great, because you can, only during your turn, you can move your unit base. So if you attacked, so you thought that you will be winning this battle, and then your opponent play a trick, and then you will escape. So basically you need to decide if this is better, this 1 or 2 times during the game option to escape from your battle. Is it better, or just better to draw 1 more card, and once your combat failed, your opponent was able to defend, it's better just to play this one extra card. Regarding Renekton, sometimes this extra 2 mana can do something, but it's not that great. Of course, you don't have that many late game units. This format is really mana hungry because you want to play a unit, play Empower, and play Combat Trick. So you need mana every turn. Zed does nothing. Nasus also is useless. Of course, Shen can be really good because you just give the tank to the smaller unit and then your opponent will kill the worse unit rather than your better one. Jayce is bad. Of course, you can build a deck regarding this gear with this combo to draw a card and something else, but it's like extra steps to do nothing. It's just better to win the game and play big units and just do something rather than do these shenanigans. Mel, amazing. As you already know, there are 20 Empower, Common and Uncommons, and of course many more rares. So it's pretty good. You use its ability, use her ability, and as many times as you can. If you have it and you can make it work, play it. And also regarding Ambessa, of course, in previous format when you had Irelia and you could give all of your units haste, I mean ready it as you played it when you attached a weapon during the limited, you were winning most of the times. And also here you can give haste to your units, so it might be really good. It's not like every time I see her I want to play her. And regarding Kennen, it does nothing because as you already know, there are like 2 free playable cards with flow, so 3 times top you will have Assault 2, so plus 6 divided on 3 turns when you play a card. So rather don't play it and get 1 more card to have options. Let's go now to rares and epics. Eclipse Dragon, it's a big unit, amazing. Morgana, second ambush unit, you will play it, I mean, when I see it I always play it as a chosen champion. Renekton, big unit with accelerate, I played as a chosen champion as a second option. Twilight Revealer, 3 mana, 3 power with a really good ability. Akali, also really good. You can use her ability, pretty good with stats alone, but also has really good ability. Zed as well, I would play him when I have a chance. Green Akali, also really good. The ability which you use that it's not targetable, it changes nothing because as you already know there are not that many cards in limited, but it's Assault 2, and if you are playing this green uncommon, she has 8 power while defending, so it can be really backbreaking for your opponent. Riven, pretty bad. I would actually, if I have any other playable card, I will never play her. Shen, I will always play him. He has an ability, but most of the time I just would play him for stats. Steel Pose, I would play it because it's for 8 mana, 7 power, because you already can empower him. But most of the times I would rather play 2 mana drop instead of him, because you conquer with it and then any regular 2 power unit just kills it, I mean any 2 drop, so you will just get 1 point. And of course it's a 2 mana drop, I mean early card, which during the late game will be better, but what do you do during the first 5 turns? Astral Heron, amazing. Nasus, amazing. The blue Nasus as well. Plaza Guardian, you won't have gears, so you have 10 mana, 8 power. If you don't have playable cards, I would play it, but 8 mana for 8 power is cool. 9 mana, it's not that great, and 10 mana for 8 power, nobody get time for that. And cash. Swain, 6 power for 6 mana, good. Jayce the same. Mel, always play Mel, because when you play her you draw a card, so, and you have 4 power for 4 unit. You never empower her because it changes nothing in the limited, but it's just cycling a unit. Amazing. Ambessa, Basically with her empower it's 7 power for 7 mana. Amazing. Gangplank, there are not that many options to move him home or return him from to hand or give him -2 in limited, like a few cards. So basically it's just 6 power for 6 mana, so really good. Regarding Swain, of course, you will never use his ability because you need to play 3 different cards in a turn where the gears are bad. So yeah, the orange Jayce, really good. 4 power for 4 mana with positive abilities, of course. Corrupted Dragon, always played. For 10 mana, 10 power, always played. Renekton, the epic one, always play him. It's a unit which will stand alone win the late game. Eloy, so it's 6 for 6 mana, you get 6 power because it will be 1 power token and it will have 5 power, so 6/6. So it's not that bad, but there is not that many support out for him. Mel, the purple one, of course you can banish 3 power unit from a battlefield, but there are not that many of them, and I just rather have 4 mana 4 power unit in this place rather than in some cases kill something. Minax Swiftfoot, really good because you can just discard your opponent's card. You will always have some cards to discard because you have good mana curve. Your opponent will just have to shrink his hand size or draw a card because your cards will be better than his. Purpose that play him, positive abilities. Kennen, positive stats. Karox, also amazing ability, so play him. Ocean Drake, always positive ability, play him. The General, just play it. You have 20 empower common and uncommon cards, so play him because it's standalone, it's 7 power and it can boost all of your other creatures. And Felin, play it because it's really good. Kyle, one of the best champions you can play, which are not Renekton and Morgana. Kennen, it's okay. You have only 2 cards which stun in this expansion. Kennen is 1 out of 2, so you won't have this much bonus from him, but it's okay. Ambessa, really good, and Shen, also vanilla card. This was units, and now we have spells. All of the spells which are color hate are not good in limited, because of course you can change cards between games and change your deck completely, and of course you can scout your opponent and know that as you are playing against right now this player, he has green, blue and yellow, and you can put all of this hate for him, but due to rules, when you know your opponent, you cannot change any card. So I don't recommend it. That's why I just don't play it, because you will have dead cards in your hand. And range amplifier, pretty amazing. All of your units get +1 or +2, so you will win all of the mirror options. Endless Riches, you have 7 cards, but you just lost half of your turn to draw those 7 cards. I would just prefer to play a big unit, and most of the time the game ends when you run out of cards, so you don't need more cards. Crumbling Sands, bad for limited. Helm of Suppression, there are not that many spells, so not good. Hextech Formula, if you have this option with Jayce and this blue gear to draw cards, okay, but as I said, just play good cards instead. Temporal Bridge, that's the card I told you previously about blinking your units. You can play it, but I wouldn't. Bottle Constellation, also not that great. Hextech Disc, of course, if you have Jayce and other options, you can build a deck around it, but in all other cases, unplayable. White Claw, for 7 mana from 5 cards, you choose a unit and play it. So you prefer to have just this, instead of 7 power card, a 7 mana card, you just want to have a big unit. So you use it to dig deeper for big unit. So if you hit 8 power unit, you want to play 8 power unit, this red worm for example. So you need not 7 mana but 10 mana to play it. So it's not that great. And regarding Empower, you don't have that many options in Limited, so you always have this mana for Empower, so I would just not play it. And regarding Cataclysmic Duel, it's a card which assumes that you are losing, so it's a comeback mechanism. So when during the deck building you decided that your deck needs to get back from the Oblivion to win, you already know that you are screwed. So of course there are decks where you have to control decks where you will use it, but most of the time you just don't. Also, Forgotten Relic, amazing. Every turn you just burn the top card and one of your units has assault, 3 power gain for your unit. Amazing. I would play 1, even 2. Glowstone, it's the same as was with a Duel. You just assume that you are losing, that's why you are playing it. And of course you can play hot potato with your opponent, but you can just win the game instead. Shady Spectacles, there are not that many amazing units that you want to copy them, so no. Shuriken Flip, I mean all of the, except Jayce and Mel, signature spells are amazing. Shuriken Flip, Dominus, Death Mark, Symphonic Strike, Shadow Dash, Public Execution, Lightning Rush, I would play as many as I can. And Acceleration Gate or Rebutal, I just wouldn't. And regarding chosen champions, I already said Morgana, Renekton, Kyle. I would play any of them in this order. First Morgana, second Renekton, then Kyle. Worst, in my opinion, is Riven, because for 3 mana you can have, I don't know, Akali or any other better champion. C tier, it's Eli and Mel, purple. So just units which are overpowered and don't do anything. B tier, so Swain, Jayce, Gangplank, Green Akali, Kennen, Red Akali, and Red Z. I'm talking about the chosen champion. You want to have power swing as you play your chosen champion. So those units just don't give you that much value. And regarding A, as you can see, yellow Ambessa, yellow Shen, green Shen, Nasus is both of them, blue Mel, Ambessa, orange, of course, Jayce because it's just a really good aggressive card, Renekton because it just wins standalone late game, and purple Kennen and Z. Just to close up, I will show you some of my decks I played as I was practicing. You can of course see those decks in my other videos as I was building from the kit those decks. So here Renekton was my chosen champion and I had 2 gears. This +4 assault 4 gears. Here Morgana was my chosen champion, and as you can see I had many good spells and gears to back it up. Here I also played this blue otter because I just didn't have 2 drops. I needed to have anything. And because as you can see I have really good late game, good champions, so I needed to play anything. And the third option, here I have chosen Jayce as my chosen champion. I was thinking about Z rather, but because Z is better. But for the consistency of the deck, I have chosen Jayce to have, because I want to have as many body runes in my deck as possible to just use my weapon as many times as possible. I can end up that on the second turn when I want to play my chosen champion, because I don't have better play, I can play Z because I didn't hit my red rune, so that's why I have chosen Jayce. And as you can see, I'm playing bad units like this 6 mana Felin or 4 mana Musicians, but I just needed a consistency in my deck. And that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching. You can see my previous guide for Unleashed. Please check out my other videos regarding Limited in Riftbound. Please leave a comment, subscribe, and if you like the video, it would be amazing. Thank you very much and good luck on your Pre-Rift events.